So today, guys, is an exciting day. Diane and I have been working diligently to get a little pig area ready back there. You can see there's that white bladder from the IBC tote. I've got it filled with hay. I'll show you that in a minute. And have some electrical wire running around. I don't know if you can make it out from here, but the white strands at the bottom are electrical wire, so we're going to train them to electric wire. And we put a secondary fence behind the electrical wire just in case. We know that it takes a little while to train them to this, and we'd like to make sure that they stay in their area. And then what's going to happen is we're going to make that bigger. You know, we're going to take the metal fencing away once they're trained to the electric wire, and we'll expand the electric wire to help them clean up a bunch of these wooded area back here. So this morning I drove a couple towns away and picked up 2 piglets. Here they are. They are sleeping very comfortably. They are quite loud when you move them, hollering and screaming, making a bunch of racket, being piglets basically. But yeah, pretty exciting. I've got to take these guys one at a time out of here, put some gloves on because they're kind of dirty, and carry them down and put them inside their pen. I would record it if I had my tripod and everything available, but I don't, so I'm not going to record that. But I'll get them down there and then I'll check back in, show you what they look like, walk you through their pen a little bit so you can see what it looks like, and we'll talk a little bit about what we're planning on doing with these pigs. All right. Okay, so here we are. We're in their cage, or in their pen, basically. I ran through and tested the wire just a few minutes ago. We're running very, very good. There's no ground out spots, and the wire is definitely hot, so that's good. You can see the basically the pig pen I built for them. They have a whole bunch of straw in there so they can bury themselves at night when it's cool still. Good cover from the rain. And if for some reason rain does get in there, there's still a drain at the bottom down there where I can drain this out. They've got about a 16 by 16 area, maybe 16 by 20 area. So it's like 20 feet this way, 16 feet this way. As I mentioned, I had put some metal wiring in here. So some metal fencing. That's nice and tight to the ground all the way around and is connected to buried T-posts so that the pigs can't get out. The theory is, from everything I've read and watched online, we'll figure this out as we go. This is my first time having pigs. But basically you run these wires at 6 inches and 12 inches off the ground. The pigs, because they're always rooting and with their nose down, they'll come up, they'll touch that, they'll get zapped. They'll learn quickly that they don't want to touch that wire. And you basically are at that point training them to not touch the wire. Right now, they're both kind of scared. I don't know if you can make out the small, that's a butt of the other one in there. They definitely are already climbing under the straw. They'll be in there nice and warm and comfortable. See if I can't get them to move around a little bit here for you. Let me put the farm I bought them from, they were in a concrete pad kind of a farm that was breeding them. So they are quite dirty, but yeah, let's see if we can. Good morning, Guy. Good morning, Guy. You guys are a little lazy today, huh? Kind of dirty too. Yeah, a little dirty. I don't know if he likes that or not, but that's okay. Don't really care. I'll pet him anyway. These guys are going to be here for a good while. Yeah, for a good while. They don't seem to dislike scratches. No, they don't seem to dislike scratches at all. That's good. We'll get them used to having us around. From my understanding is when they're little, they're okay to be around. Shouldn't give you too much trouble. As they get older, they can get a little food aggressive and run into you, try to get the food out of your hands, but I'm really not worried about that. For right now, we've got buckets of water, or pans of water. We're gonna set up an automatic watering system for these guys, but I figure just for now we'll keep an eye on them because they're young. We want to pay good attention to them. We'll leave them with some water. Same thing, this is going to be their food barrel or their food bucket for right now. It's a small food bucket that we've used in the past. We'll just pour their food in there twice a day. This is the electric charger. It is much bigger than our old one that we used for the chicken netting. It has to be stronger in order enough to deter the pigs. The one that we had just wasn't big enough. It wasn't putting out enough oomph to deter the pigs from my readings. So this one is enough for pigs and cows. So hopefully this will be strong enough to keep the pigs away. Really, the reason we're getting pigs is we love eating pork, right? So I'd like to know that my pork is coming from a place where the pigs were well treated and lived good lives. I think that I can give these guys a pretty good life. They're going to be able to go and dig up all this grass, eat it, root around, and just basically be pigs. What we plan to do is expand their pen area, so this fenced in area, not the metal fence, remember. The goal is to just have them behind only the electric fence. But expand it down here along the sides of these trees where we cut down, go all the way back there, and basically all the way around the back. This whole area was recently cleared a year ago. A lot of branch, a lot of bramble, a lot of just weeds. We'd like to kind of get it all tore up, and that's what pigs do a really good job of. Sometime this summer, we're gonna rent a stump grinder, grind down a bunch of these stumps. We'll burn that burn pile and that burn pile, clear this out. So the goal is, in the long run, is to have this all cleared out, not necessarily flat, right? The ground is graded, and the land slopes towards a stream that's back there. So we don't ever want it to be flat, but at least cleared out so that we can walk around back here, not trip over everything. If there's big rocks like this, fine, we'll leave that there. Maybe move some of them with the tractor, put them in the rock wall over there. But outside of that, just make it usable. The real goal in the long run is to get a couple of goats. We'd like to have a few goats, so we're gonna turn this into the goat paddock. And what we would like to do with the goats is, over the years, is rotationally graze them. So if you can look back there, you can kind of notice that there's a lot of small trees and brambles and blackberries, and it's not fun to walk through these areas, especially in the summertime. So the goal for us is to get some goats over the years and clear out blocks of the land. So if we can have a permanent spot for the goats, because the goats have to stay for the winter. The pigs will not stay for the winter, right? These guys will be here till October or late September, and then they'll be, dispatched and turned into bacon and pork products, right? We'll eat them. Well, and our friends too, because there's no way that the wife and I can eat 2 pigs worth of food. So we'll definitely be giving friends and family a lot of pork at the end of the year. But yeah, the goats will stick around. The goats will be long-term residents. They'll probably live in that shed at some point. We'll put an entrance in the back. And then this will be the goat paddock. And then, as I mentioned, we'll work the goats around the land depending upon the year and where we think we can clean it up. You can see, like here, we have a tree that's fallen. I got to clean that up. There's some old fallen trees all over the place. There's one right there, right? We have trees down all over the place. This land is really rough, and we would like to clean it up. Goats and pigs, for that matter. So like the pigs are going to dig all this up and clean it for us, or clear it, turn the ground, get it all ready for us to put some seed down so that we can turn this into a pasture so that the goats can live. But then once the pigs are gone, once we move the goats in, we'll use the goats to clear the bramble. The goats really like to eat little, saplings and brush, blackberries, all that stuff. They'll eat all that, clear it out for us, so that we don't have to do it. We can have the goats work it. We can come in and we can selectively cut down any of the smaller sapling trees that we don't want. Something like this size is fine here, but in the woods over there, having 20 of those within a 15 square foot area is not, those aren't going to make it. They're all going to end up falling down and turning into a big mess like this. So we'll clear those out, selectively remove them. We'll leave these big majestic maples here. Those guys are all looking great. We'll probably tap all of these for sap next year. 1, 2, 3, there's like 6 of them right here that we didn't tap this year. So that's the goal, kind of work with these. But that all starts on day 1 with getting some pigs. The pigs are going to help us clear this land, turn the dirt, grow up healthy. We want them to be happy and healthy. We think that having pigs with an available area to live and to browse and to dig up and to churn the ground and just do what pigs do, that's going to make them happy. So we want them to live happy lives. We want them to grow up, well. And then at the end of the year, when their work for us is done, we will process them. They are food, right? I want to call that out. These are not pets. These are livestock that are going to have a job for us. The chickens specifically the egg layers, while they do stuff for us, they are pets, right? Like, we keep them. When they stop laying, we're not going to slaughter them. They give us food for their entire life by laying eggs. And in return, when they start slowing down, we let them stay, right? I know a lot of people will process their chickens. They'll cull them. We don't want to do that. We want to keep the chickens. We feel like they've given us something, we'll give them something. So the pigs are the opposite. These guys are not going to be here long term. They're not here permanently. They are here solely to do a job and then to feed us. Don't know exactly what we're going to name them yet. We'll talk about that later. I know you're not supposed to name feed animals, but we're going to name them anyway. I don't care. That's pretty much it for right now. I will come back and show you throughout the season how these guys grow out, what they look like, how they do. They were really active and running around when we picked them up. They are exhausted from the trip. We only got them, I don't know, 20 minutes away, so very close to where we live. This farm was. But I guess that trip really wore them out because they are definitely sleeping right now. At first they dug themselves in there. I was thinking they were scared, but I don't think they're scared. I think they're just tired. So we're gonna let them sleep. I'm gonna bring them some food. I'm gonna unload the truck because I just picked up a couple bags of food for them. Get that unloaded into the shed. And then, yeah, once again, we'll show you these guys as the year goes on. Show you what they look like, how they grow. I'll, provide any things that I learn because, this is my first time owning pigs. I've never had a pig before. Hopefully it goes well and, we don't have too much chaos from them. But if we do, we'll definitely document it. And even if we don't have chaos and we just talk about how they grow and, all the way to the point where, we tell you like what it costs per pound because I'd like to keep track. We're going to save receipts for all of the things that we buy for them, all of their feed. We'll talk about how we supplement their feed. And then at the end, when we get them processed, how much it ended up costing us per pound. I'm sure it'll be more expensive than if we went to the grocery store to buy pork. But once again, there's some value, at least for us, we think, in knowing that these pigs are raised well, that they're taken care of, that they eat the right kind of food, that they get to be pigs, right? We want them rooting around. We want them in the woods. We want them, in the mud pit when there's one here. We want them to be happy pigs. And we want to know that our food that we're eating was treated humanely and correctly. That's the same thing with our meat chickens. The meat chickens are definitely the same. We want them to be treated well. We want to know that our animals are not kept in some big factory farm. Look, the vast majority of our food in America comes from that. It is what it is. I'm not slamming anybody for eating it. I eat it too, right? But if we can selectively and progressively get more and more of our food from sources like we're trying to do, I think we'll be happier. Speaking of meat birds, let's show you what came in the mail. So just the other day, we got our year's supply of meat birds. One thing I will say is you'll notice there's no geese in here. We got rid of the geese. Turns out I'm not really a goose fan. So we sold the geese. I don't love the geese. Didn't really need them. They don't really provide much. Their eggs tasted pretty much just like chicken eggs, just bigger. So the geese are gone. But one nice thing of having the geese gone is I could turn this shed into our brooder. We always wanted to do this. I hate having the chickens in the house. They are stinky. Little chicks just smell. So having them in the basement was always a challenge. But here they are. They're outside. They're happy. I'll show you these guys. We have 20 meat birds. Those are the yellow ones. And because our egg layers are coming up on 3 years, we know that they're going to start slowing down. So we've now got 12 more egg layers in here. We got some Americanas. So those black ones in the middle there are Americanas. The little brown one there that the black one just walked in front of, those are Whiting's True Blues, I believe. And we also have some silver-laced Wyandottes, and I don't know which ones are the silver-laced Wyandottes. They're really hard to tell apart when they're little. And there was a free one. I don't know if you can make out that gray guy that's walking along the back there. Just walked out in front of that yellow chick. That one was our free one. I'm not sure what it is. We'll find out. But these guys all came healthy. We got them from Murray McMurray Hatchery. We ordered 32 chicks, and we got 33, including our one free chick. And they all came healthy. Our post office was terrific. Their plane coming in from McMurray, which I think is in Iowa or something. The plane that came in late, so they were not going to be able to get them to us first thing in the morning like they were planning. And the post office, which is in near Burlington, which is about an hour from us, gave us a call and said, hey, we have your chicks. If you'd like to drive out to the mail processing center, we'll open the door for you and let you pick them up, because we know that they're not going to get there first thing in the morning. They were super nice. I drove out there at like 8 o'clock at night after work on Thursday. Today's Saturday. And they opened the door for me, delivered the chicks, had me sign it off. I mean, it was really nice. They did not have to do that. And, you know, these chicks definitely, well, I shouldn't say definitely, but probably would have had a harder time, you know, being that they wouldn't have gotten delivered until Saturday instead of Friday. You know, we got them on Thursday night instead, and they were all healthy. So I really do credit the post office with giving us a call and helping us out, because that was really nice of them. We're happy about it. The chicks are all in great shape. As you can see, they're running around and happy and just being super good. We'll keep an eye on these guys because we got to watch for pasty butt, right? That's the only thing that really you got to worry about with chicks. You know, they have their Mercs, I think is what it's called, vaccine. And the meat birds will end up going out into the chicken tractor when they're about 4 weeks old. These guys will move off to our small coop until they're about 8 weeks old, maybe 10 weeks old, and then they'll get mixed in with our regular egg layers. But for right now, they're all doing great. They're happy, they're healthy, and they're eating like crazy, as you can see. A lot of water, food, they're good. So let me put the rock back on here. We just keep a rock on here in case some sort of animal ever does break in. I don't want, you know, if there's a rat or a possum or something that gets in here, I don't want it to be able to easily open this up, and it can't as long as there's a heavy rock on there. One final spring update that I can show you is we hatched 4 chicken eggs from our chickens. So from our chicken flock, including that rooster right there. That's one of our guys. We have 2 roosters for now. They're starting to act kind of jerky, so I don't know how long they're going to last, but they're here for now. We've got two roosters and a bunch of egg layers. They're all doing well. All of the flock is doing great. You can see they're over here just chilling, looking for snacks. Those are the 2 roosters right there. They are silver or golden laced Wyandottes. So we have golden laced Wyandotte roosters. We have barred rock chickens. That's Becky, one of our oldest chickens. She is a Welsummer. She's been with us since our very first chicks. There is another, so that is a female golden lace Wyandotte right there. See if I can zoom in on her. Yeah, that's a female golden lace Wyandotte. That one behind her, the dark colored one, is another one of our original chickens. That's Raven. She's an olive egger. So we have a lot of different types of chickens, as you can see. There's another one of our olive eggers. That's Midge. She's another one of our originals. That is the one behind the rooster is a Wyandotte. Or sorry, is another Welsummer. We have 2 Welsummers. That one, and then Becky, our original chicken. She was a Welsummer. Zed, quit harassing the chickens. What are you doing? But anyway, so this was our original chicken coop. We had this in our little house in Waterville when we first moved to Vermont. With the original 8 chickens or 10 chickens lived in here that we had. Now, of course, they have way much more space. We have the 78 acres. They can kind of cruise around, do whatever they want. We let them free range most of the year, and they're happy. They live in this big coop that I built them last year. Way, way, way bigger. You know, this one could hold maybe 10 chickens. This one could probably hold 50 or 60 if we wanted it to. But we use this as our medium-term brooder. So basically what's going to happen, and I'll show you here, is we've raised some of our own chicks. We hatched out 4 chicks from our eggs. So these guys here, we just took their eggs and put them in the incubator, and we hatched them out. So we've got 4 older chicks. These guys all hatched right around the time of the, what do you call it? The solar eclipse. So they are, you know, a few weeks old at this point. They're about halfway to the point where they'll get put out with the rest of the flock. But yeah, we don't know if these are roosters or hens yet. We're not sure. We'll get it figured out for sure. They seem to have knocked their water bowl over, which is a problem. I'll get them some fresh water. But they're doing great. All 4 hatched here, and they're all alive and happy and healthy. So when those chicks that are in the other shed get bigger, we'll move them into this coop. So what we can do with this coop, the nice thing is we can put electric fence, some netting, so kind of like the netting we have around the gardens down there. It's not permanent fencing, right? It's temporary, it's movable. So what we can do is we can take some of that and bring it up here and make them a little run so that they can come out and get air and, you know, just live life basically without being stuck in the coop. But for the next probably week or so, they'll just stay in there. Once they're about 5 weeks old, we start letting them, 4 or 5 weeks old, we'll start letting them run around. All right, I'm gonna go fill these guys' water bowl up. I'm gonna check back in on the pigs, make sure they're doing okay. And I think that's it. So for right now, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you kind of are interested in following along with our animals and what we got going on here. Like I said, pay attention to the channel. We'll provide updates over the summer with what's going on with our pigs, how they progress, what we learn from them. You know, I'm sure that we'll learn a lot and figure out what we're gonna do. But appreciate you watching. Thanks for you know, taking the time today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, you know, share it on social media or whatever, and subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, we'll put updates throughout the summer. All right, thank you. Have a good day, everybody.